Hey guys, do you have somebody trying to sell you a heating and air system with a brand that you've never heard of? There could be a couple reasons for that. So one might be maybe you've just simply never heard of them, right? I mean, maybe they're just a brand that for whatever reason, they're either new to your market, new to your country, maybe they're just simply new, period, and that's why you've never heard of them. But another reason might be there are programs called private label programs that a lot of heating and air manufacturers have that companies can sign up and sell their own brand. Basically, they're able to put their own sticker or label on a piece of equipment made by one of the big heating and air manufacturers that you have heard of. So if you're searching around, let's say your name is Bobby and you start Bobby's Heating and Air and you build it up enough to where you want to have your own product line, you want to have your own brand of equipment, and you call it Bobby's Heating and Air, Bobby's Equipment, okay? And so here you are, you're selling Bobby's and whatever. If you're a homeowner and you come across one of those private label brands, the first thing is you may be wondering why. Why would they want to take a Ford Mustang and put Bobby's Cars as the label on that car? And I think there's a couple reasons for that. I personally have never worked at a company that did that, but I do know of a bigger company in one of the local cities near us that does have a private label. And I think the main reason would be, number one, you could set yourself apart. So you're offering technically something that no one else is offering. So you're not going to have to worry about another company. So Bobby isn't going to have to worry about Fred's Heating and Air coming in and selling Bobby's HVAC equipment. Fred can't get it. So if a customer's like, well, I like everything Bobby said, but I want to, I want that equipment, but I want to shop it a little bit. I want to see if Fred can provide that to me. And the answer obviously would be no, right? And they also will not be able to go online and search for that. A lot of contractors are up against homeowners being able to go online and buy the equipment themselves. Whether that's good or bad, I'm not making any points for or against that. I'm just stating the fact that if Bobby's selling Bobby's Heating and Air equipment, you can't go online and buy Bobby's Heating and Air equipment. It doesn't exist. It's a private label brand. So they can control the brand reputation in that way. The homeowner won't be able to look up that brand, They won't be able to search around online and find anything bad about it. So ultimately, if you have someone selling you that equipment, unless you know who the main manufacturer is, it will be hard for you to do a lot of homework on it. A lot of companies, if you ask them directly, I'm guessing they would maybe share that with you, who the parent company or who the manufacturer of their equipment actually is. I don't know that I would want to hide that if I were them, if someone were to ask me that directly. And it's not just one or two heating and air manufacturers doing it. I know there are several. I have actually talked to one of them once before, and to be able to do it, so for Bobby to be able to sell Bobby's Heating and Air equipment, there's usually some hoops to jump through. They usually have to make some sort of commitment, maybe even purchase a certain amount of equipment to be able to have that manufacturer put in the work or the time or the money to build that extra equipment, and put that labeling on it. So ultimately, is it a bad thing? That's up to you to decide. The last thing I'll say is I do know there are some companies that will literally, they'll order a piece of carrier equipment, right? So they'll get their system in and they'll pop the labels off that carrier equipment and put Bobby's Heating and Air equipment and pop that little emblem decal on there. And that's all it is. So the manufacturer didn't actually produce anything extra. They just sold the piece of equipment, and then Bobby's Heating and Air then took that emblem and swapped it out. If you've got a company that is providing you with a piece of equipment, you can't find anything online, you can't do any homework on it, or you're pretty sure that they are a private label brand, do me a favor and put a comment down below. I'd love to hear about it. It's not a huge common thing, at least in the cities around me. Again, I only know of one company that does it out of the hundreds of companies, but I'm wondering if there's other parts of the country where it's fairly common, where you might have 3, 4, 5 companies doing it for one reason or another. So put that down below. I'm just real curious if you come across one, maybe what they labeled it. Some of them, I wonder if it's a mistake. If they name it Bobby's Heating and Air Equipment, is that a good thing? Wouldn't you rather just leave it as a Train or a Carrier or a Daikin? I don't know. But usually, even if it's private label, you'll be able to cross-reference the model numbers anyway in most cases and figure out what the manufacturer is anyway. So if you are in the market for a heating and air system, someone's offering you a private label brand, is that a bad thing? I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. You know, the warranties should still be offered. It's just a different sticker on there, but it may restrict you from being able to do a little more homework than if they were to have that, you know, brand that everyone has heard of actually on that piece of equipment. I don't know. All that said, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.